Week 15 of the fantasy basketball season. Here's a few forwards I look to sell and trade this week. The first forward, John Collins of the Utah Jazz. So Collins, he was out for a little bit for this Jazz team over the last few weeks here. And on paper, the numbers are solid this year, though. 18.1 points a game, 8.3 boards, 2.3 assists, a steal, a block, 1.5 threes, and 53% from the field. He's been very efficient this season, no doubt about it, is John Collins. But like I said, late December to the end of January, he missed a lot of ball games as Collins. And now that he's back in the lineup, there's definitely a possibility he gets dealt at the deadline in the next couple days here as Collins, because obviously this Utah Jazz team going nowhere. They want draft picks. They want to see what these younger guys have, especially this season where it's been a bad year for them. And now that Collins has been back in the lineup the last 3 games and put up numbers, his value could be decent for this Jazz team to maybe get a first-round pick or younger players in a deal. January 30th versus Minnesota, 16 points, 5 boards, and assists, a steal, 2 blocks, 2 threes, 41% from the field. February 1st versus Orlando, 19 points, 6 boards, 2 blocks, 2 threes, 88% from the field. And February 3rd versus Indiana, 21 points, 12 boards, a block, a 3, 50% from the field. So possibly him getting traded to a contender. Right there, I think the numbers will go down. And also with the injury concerns this season for John Collins, where, like I said, he missed a lot of ball games in December and January for this Utah Jazz team. So with those 2 factors, and we've seen Collins over the last couple seasons, besides this year, his numbers dropped every year with the Atlanta Hawks, and last season with the Jazz, I believe his numbers aren't going to stay up at this pace if he's on a new team, or even if he stays with this Jazz team. We could see him being out even more where this Jazz team wants to tank and get a better pick in the draft this season. Next forward, Trey Murphy of the New Orleans Pelicans. So Trey Murphy, it's been a great season for him, no doubt about it. But right now, he's playing out of this world is Trey Murphy, and he's a peak value sell-high player this week on the year. 22.6 points a game, 5 boards, 3.1 assists, 1.2 steals, 3.3 threes a game, and 47% from the field. But the last couple weeks, like I said, he's been on a mission, 27.5 a game, 5.2 boards, 3.8 assists, 1.3 steals, 4.3 threes a game, and 57% from the field. So 2 back-to-back 40-point games, 3 games in a row, 30 or more points for Trey Murphy. But the only thing is here, if Brandon Ingram comes back to the lineup, or if they even trade Brandon Ingram and get more pieces in here as this Pelican team, I think it's going to take a hit on his numbers. And like I said, he's a good player, Trey Murphy, no doubt about it. And it's been a breakout year for him this season. But obviously playing at these levels isn't going to be sustainable for him. So right now, while he's at peak value and putting up huge numbers, I believe you possibly could get 2 players in a deal for Murphy this week. January 29th versus the Mavs, 32 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, a steal, 5 threes, 76% from the field. January 31st versus the Celtics, 40 points, 5 boards, 4 assists, a steal, 8 threes, 75% from the field. And February 3rd at the Nuggets, 41 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, a block, 8 threes, 61% from the field. So right now, like I said, he's going off his Trey Murphy. 21 threes in the last 3 games for Murphy. Obviously, that's not going to stay up, 7 threes per game on average. And also, like I said, over the last 3 games, 30 or more points for Murphy. So with all those factors, and like I said, with Ingram possibly getting traded, bringing other players back, or Ingram not getting traded and coming back to the lineup, it's going to take a hit either way on Murphy's numbers. So this week, while he's at peak value, and I believe you could get a package deal for him, this would be a time to sell him off. I'm not saying sell these players off for anything, but right now, especially in Murphy's case, where he's putting up big numbers and filling the stat sheet, you got to trade a guy like that who hasn't had a track record so far in the NBA for peak value, and see if you could get someone to overpay for him as well. And the third and final forward, I looked at selling trades, Norman Powell of the Los Angeles Clippers. So a breakout season for Powell, 24.1 points a game, 3.6 boards, 2.2 assists, 1.4 steals, 3.4 threes, and 49% from the field. But the thing with Powell, he's been banged up on and off over the last couple weeks here. Is Norman Powell. He's a good talent, good scorer of the basketball. But this Clipper team, it wouldn't be surprising to me if they make a sneaky type of deal and try to bring a bigger name in here where possibly it's going to take an effect on Powell. He'll even be in the trade, is Powell as well. And obviously his value would take a little turn. So like I said, Powell's playing great basketball, shoot the 3 ball, score the basketball, and a good rebounder as well and a stealer. But like I said, I just don't believe these numbers are going to stay up. at this height for Powell. January 27th at Phoenix, 23 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 4 steals, 3 threes, 57% from the field. January 29th at the Spurs, 27 points, 8 boards, and assists, 3 threes, 60% from the field. And January 31st at the Hornets, 27 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 threes, 73% from the field. So Powell playing great basketball, like I said, scoring, decent rebounding, steals, and field goal percentage in three-point shooting. 4-category type of player for Powell. But like I said, this Clipper team, they're always looking for the big deal. Obviously, we saw it for many seasons with them trading for James Harden, Paul George a few seasons ago. And it wouldn't be surprising to me if they're a dark horse team in the Kevin Durant sweepstakes possibly is this Los Angeles Clipper team, or even try to make a deal for a guy like Zion Williamson. Slight chance one of those players could get traded to the Clippers. I don't see it possibly with the Warriors trying to go all in for one of these players, but still, you never know with this Clipper team where they try to make a big splash usually, especially after seeing the Lakers get Luka Doncic. It wouldn't be surprising to me if the Clippers try to go out there and try to one-up them in a deal. But right now, this Clipper team is playing good basketball. Norman Powell's playing good basketball, but I just believe his numbers are going to take a little bit of a hit because he's been way too consistent all season long, putting up these breakup numbers where obviously he's still that third option, because if Kawhi Leonard starts playing a little bit more as well, I think Powell's numbers drop off just a bit even if they don't make a deal. So that's a few forwards I look to sell and trade for Week 15 of the fantasy basketball season.